Welcome to this class. Before we begin, I would like to ask you a question. Have you ever written a formula in Excel, dragged it down, and suddenly everything changed and your calculation became wrong? You didn't make a mistake. Excel changed your references by default. So today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about cell references in Excel. And once you understand this, your formula will never break again. So we are going to cover relative references, absolute references, mixed references, show F4 for shortcut, and then discuss real business example, common mistakes to avoid, and pro analyst tips. So if you master references, you've indeed mastered Excel. So let's begin by defining what a reference is or a cell reference is. So a cell reference is simply an address of a cell, okay? It's simply what? An address of a cell. For example, we have here, if you look at the name box here, right? As we discussed in our first class where we talked about the interface of Excel, we talked about an inbox, okay? You can see, so these are cells, okay? We have G1, for instance, right? So G1 just means the first row in the column G, okay? Basically an intersection between the column and the row. That's why it's named, okay? G1, okay? So basically, let me use color scales for that. So column G, right? Column G highlighted, then row 1 highlighted. So let me use another color. So basically you get the point. So you see the intercept between column G and row 1 is G1. What if the intercept is in column G and row 3? Let me see your answer in the comment, okay? So let us take this out. So it's easy basically to understand a cell address, okay? Okay. So let us talk about the default referencing in Microsoft Excel. So relative reference is Excel default behavior. So example, let's look at it now here. We have quantity and unit price of the product laptop, right? So if we want to calculate the total revenue, it means that we have to do what? Multiply unit price by what? By quantity, or quantity by unit price, as the case may be. So what we can do, we'll easily just say equals. So remember, so this is B column intercepting row 2 will be B2, right? So you can say B2 is not case sensitive. So however, so you see that we are correct. So we'll say shift 8 for multiplication, and then we'll say C2. So we are multiplying B2 by C2. So we can hit enter, we will get our values. Let's basically format these, put these comma style so that it's very clear for us to see. So this direct referencing is a relative referencing in Excel. So what happens if we drag to fill up? So it calculates, basically copies this formula down, okay? If we look at it now here, this is B3 to C3, right? If we do this, it goes down as we fill it. Let us look at absolute referencing, okay? So let us go to the next sheet to look at what absolute referencing. So now we introduce a fixed value here. For example, this tax rate is a fixed value, and we want to multiply this fixed value by every revenue here to get their tax value, okay? So if we do the same thing we did earlier, it's going to be a mistake. So basically, let us try that. So you'll say equals the tax rate, okay, multiplied by the revenue for laptop. If we hit enter, here we are going to get the correct answer. But what happens when we drag down? When we drag down, we are going to get wrong values. What happens here? Look at this. See what happens here. When we click this, you see Excel basically brought this down. Yes, this was correct. The BCs were correct, but we wanted to multiply by 7.5. It said value here because this is wrong. You see, is multiplying the word product by that revenue for keyboard, you see? So that is wrong. So what's the correct thing to do here? The correct thing to do here is that since we have done this, we have to fix that cell A2. And to fix that cell A2, we have to add the dollar sign. And that is where the F4 shortcut comes, okay? We want to fix this. So if we click anywhere within that cell, and we say F4, that is function key 4, what happens is that we automatically impute dollar sign before the column and dollar sign before the row. This makes the A2 cell an absolute reference because it remains static even when we drag it across. So watch this now. If we do drag it across, everything is correctly calculated. You can see that, right? Okay, that's good. So, but the thing here is that note that we only made one cell absolute and leave one cell to be what? Relative. You get it, right? Because we wanted just the tax rate to be absolute and the revenue to be relative. Okay, hope that is clear.